Welcome to the Demo Days. Great to have you with us. Nice that you're watching. Those who were following us this morning already or earlier this afternoon, they know Aebi Schmidt. If you count the years of experience of the meanwhile 10 different brands in our group, you reach a number which is higher than 1,400 years. The origin of our products dates back in 1857, and when people talk about winter services and winter maintenance, Schmidt and Nido are unavoidably linked to any of these discussions. Schmidt celebrated its centenary in the first year of the pandemic. Well, that wasn't that much celebration because of the pandemic, but we'll sure make it up once. And either way, quite a bit of the technology which is nowadays a standard for winter maintenance has been invented down in the Black Forest at Schmidt. Nido, founded 1949 and part of our group since roughly 40 years already, has always been and is still a pioneer when it is about pre-wetted salt technologies and more, of course. Today, the Aebi Schmidt Group is a global player. We manufacture in 14 plants across around the globe, and we have around 3,000 employees. We are driven day by day to develop intelligent and reliable solutions together with a first-class service which ultimately enable our customers to improve their performance. And the outcome of that ambition we'd like to present you today. In the next 30 minutes we will share the news and latest developments for winter services. Before I hand over to my colleagues, just one note: if you want to ask us a question, please do. You have a speech bubble at the lower end of your video screen. If you click on it, post whatever wherever your interest is. We try to answer the question live during the presentation, and if not, we'll get back to you bilaterally after the event. So much for the introduction. Next to me, there's standing three colleagues. I'll start with Marcin Gajda, Product Manager Winter. Then it's Patrick Brady, who is Head Sales Dealer International, and Florian Mertens, who is the head of the technical unit Winter. Florian, we stand pretty close to the biggest machine, and I think we move from large to smaller.
That's correct, Thomas.
What are you going to present to us in the next 28 minutes?
Oh, Thomas, I think we have a lot of interesting products with us, so thank you for the introduction. And also welcome from my side. My name is Florian Mertens, and together with my team, I'm in charge of the winter maintenance equipment here at Aebi Schmidt. Before we really start, you can imagine during the last couple of days I was asked a few times if this is the right weather to present winter equipment. And the answer is definitely yes. The summer is already there, so the preparation for the winter season is not too far away after the summer season. And honestly speaking, who of us does not enjoy some cold thoughts of the winter time when it's so warm outside? So, as we all know, winter maintenance is usually a tough fight against snow and iced roads with a target to increase traffic safety and accessibility. As we've seen during the last couple of years, no winter is like the other, and the weather can switch fairly quickly from very mild to pretty harsh conditions. And honestly speaking, if we hear to experts, they say that this might be getting even more intense in future. This being said, it is quite clear that it needs premium equipment and high quality to achieve best possible results and high safety standards. And this is exactly the point where Aebi Schmidt comes into play as your provider for really modern and high quality winter maintenance equipment solution. So with our broad range, which we will also present today, of snowplows, spreaders, sprayers, as well as snowblowers, Aebi Schmidt is the reliable partner that you need and is there for you when it counts. So let's now start with our first highlight product, the highway plow HP2W, presented from our product manager Marcin. Welcome, Marcin.
Thank you very much.
Marcin, please answer the audience. How did Aebi Schmidt actually come up with the idea to develop the HP2W?
Thank you, Florian. Yes, so since the Euro 6 trucks has been introduced, it become more and more challenging to equip the truck in side snowplow. At the same time, the existing design of highway front snowplows has already utilized the most of front axle capacity. And those two problems actually made us to start a wider discussion about the future expectations for highway snowplows combination. After that, or the conclusion was, after the whole analysis, that with existing combination front snowplow, side snowplow, we are on the limit with the space on the truck for the side snowplow and the capacity for front axle load, for a front axle load. And then it became clear that we need a new type of snowplow, which is actually wider but lighter. And at the same time, we don't want to compromise on snow clearing quality. So as a first step, we took a look, or we took a closer look to our existing snowplow ML51, and we started to optimization. Optimization in a way that we reduce the weight, keeping the strength of the snowplow. And next step was that if or when we reduce the weight to a satisfactory level, then it has opened a new possibility to create wider snowplow with 6.2 meters clearing width. 6.2 meters clearing width, that was our goal. Because that gives us the possibility to operate on a 3-lane highway with 2 trucks, so exactly the same as old combination front highway snowplow and side snowplow. But of course, with a new solution, we have some advantages in comparison to old solutions. So first of all, we don't need side mounting plates which we connect to the chassis. And as I mentioned before, nowadays with modern truck, to find enough place for a side mounting system is more and more difficult and challenging. Together with a side mounting system, we don't need additional hydraulic system for side snowplow and also electronic system. So finally, we have simpler truck, easier to maintenance afterwards, and of course, lower initial costs.
Okay, Marcin, so now we understand where the concept comes from. Can you explain to us how this snowplow works in practice?
Yes, of course. We will start from a short presentation of the snowplow. While moving the snowplow, I will give a couple of technical data. So the plow total width is 7 meters. With 32 degrees angle, we can reach 6.2 meters clearing width. And of course, because of the different setup of the wings, we have also a different clearing width. So minimum, when both wings are closed, we can reach 3.4 meters width, and then depends which one wing is closed or open. We have also 4.5 or 5.1 meter clearing width. Now a little bit more about technique. It was clear for us that we want to keep our multi-blade snowplow philosophy. And multi-blade snowplow philosophy means that the whole plowshare is divided into few sections. In this case, we have 6 sections each section can float up and down for a better adjustment to the road surface. And then better adjustment to the road surface means better snow clearing quality and performance. Movement of the plowshares is done by 4 linking arms. 4 linking arms per each segment of the plowshares. And those suspension system also have additional functionality. It means that it secures the plow against mechanical overloading. So if we hit during the operation obstacle on the road, then the plowshare can jump and the suspension systems absorbs the energy from the hitting, securing the plow, but of course securing also the truck. And we need to be also aware that with such a wide snow plow and high speed on the highways, the energy is also high and forces that the truck needs to take are also high. So that's the first step where we secure the plow. The goal for this plow was that we want to operate the snow plow with a 3-axle trucks. So the weight matters in this case. We reached with this snow plow, or depends a little bit from the configuration, but this plow weight is between 1,700 1,800 kilo. What together with very good position of gravity point makes no problem to configure the 3-axle truck together with spreader and the front wide snow plow. Another issue that we had to solve is that we want to keep, or we want to have all possible configuration of plowshares, no matter if the plow is turned to the right and turned to the left. We want to keep always that plow can work with folded, unfolded plowshares. That we reached with our unique folding system, which consists of three angle sensors on each pivot point, so middle point and left, right side, and those system measuring the angles or position of each segment in a real time. And when the system or electronic is predefined where need to stop, then when the system see that we are already close to the collision with or close to the danger zone that we predefined, then the system interrupts the movement of the snowplow. I mentioned first step of overloading protection. Now hydraulic system, which is of course it provides the movement of the snowplow, but again is designed in a way that every hydraulic cylinder, which is responsible for main movements, so folding, unfolding wings, turning left, right, lifting, lowering, those cylinders are equipped with the pressure valves. So when the plow is overloaded, then of course the mechanical parts and the truck are secured by hydraulic system. Interesting from after sales point of view, on this snowplow is that 5 main hydraulic cylinders, so folding, unfolding, turning left, right, lifting, lowering, and on the right side the same, are the same. So that makes that the plow actually is a maintenance-friendly machine. That's it from my side. I would like to hand over to Patrick now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcin. So with that, let's move from our large motorway solutions to solutions that are better suited for urban areas or for country roads. So behind me we have a vehicle solution that's ideally set up to master the most challenging of winter conditions, be that in the flatlands or the steep alpine roads. The carrier vehicle we have here is a Unimog 430 with 299 engine horsepower. It has permanent 4-wheel drive, transport speeds of up to 89 kilometers per hour and 14-ton gross vehicle weight. If we move to the front, we can see our Taron MS32 snowplow. So this is the smaller brother of the Taron HP2W, which we just saw with Marcin. It contains many of the same features and benefits. For example, the individual plowshare segments to perfectly adapt to the road surface. So we're not going to go into much further detail on the plow, as many of the things, as I said, we covered with Marcin. So I'm going to take a step back and we talk about our spreading technologies. The Stratus name represents our professional range of spreaders from 0.6 up to 12 cubic meters. All of those spreaders are available with either a belt conveyor system or an auger conveyor system. The hopper itself is carefully shot blasted. We treat it for best corrosion protection, and we seal the surface elements with 2 layers of powder coated paint so that everything's protected for up to 10 years. And alternatively, the hopper is available as a stainless steel version if you really want the ultimate corrosion protection. Our Stratus 3 mid-range, which we have one of the models mounted here on the Unimog, go from 1.7 up to 3 cubic meters. These models have taken over now the best technology and our closed-loop control systems, which are well known on our Stratus models from 4 up to 12 cubic meters. Mounted on the Unimog itself, we have the F25 model, F standing for flat silo, so really low profile silo, and the 2.5 standing for 2.5 cubic meters of dry salt. The F and the D models, they have one small difference compared to the other spreaders. They have 2 augers to bring the salt to the rear of the machine. The F silo, as we see here, it's a single silo, so a single compartment. The D version of that spreader, it has 2 compartments. So one compartment you can carry salt and the other sand, or the alternative mix salt and grit. So you're probably wondering, okay, what other highlights do we have on this range? What is unique? What have we done to improve that spreader? So if we take a look up, as I said, F standing for the flat or the low profile silo. So we see we've made the silo itself basically wider and lower. There are 2 positive impacts from that. Making it wider, we use the full vehicle width, but we stay inside the complete width of the tanks. And by keeping it lower, we keep a low center of gravity, which is very important for maintaining good vehicle stability while traveling on the roads. The other advantage, if we look up to the rear of the cab, we can see that the silo is much below the cab roof, which is a very positive impact on the vehicle aerodynamics. And of course, for the driver, when he wants to see what's going on in the silo, when he has a rear window available, he can easily look back into the hopper. The other element which we did on this machine to really improve its fitting and finish onto the machine is we have a new mounting frame that's positioned between the Unimog ballpoint frame and the spreader chassis itself. This is fully adjustable, so it allows us to really position the spreader onto the carrier vehicle to optimize the weight distribution. Or if we come to the rear and we see how we have it set up here, we try to really minimize the rear overhang so that there's a limited tail swing on the vehicle. The last thing what we have done is our engineers were cleverly able to combine the designs of the F and D spreaders with the B and S spreaders. And one of the key elements to enable that was the tanks themselves. So we created one tank which fits into both models. And by simply turning the tank 90 degrees, it can fit into the other 2 models. This simplifies a lot of things like spare parts availability and also the easily swapping out of the spreader tanks, pre-wet tanks when needed on the spreader. So now we're at the rear of the machine where all the business happens. So let's take a look to the distribution unit. Normally the salt is coming to the rear of the spreader, as I said, via double augers like we have here, a belt or a single auger system. It's fed down the distribution chute to the spreading disc, and also at the spreading disc we feed in the brine, so we get a perfect mixing on the spreading disc of the dry salt and the wet salt. The discs themselves, we have 2 different options available, from 2 up to 10 meters spreading width, or 3 up to 12 meters. I think most importantly for you as a customer, you need to know that both spreading discs are certified in accordance with the DIN norm EN 15597-2. This guarantees an exceptionally even spread of salt across the complete road surface. That's very important to protect the road from the freezing temperatures. It helps minimize the salt consumption and minimize the impact on the environment. That's it from me. So we're going to slowly move back to the front of the machine, and then I'm going to hand you over to Florian, who's going to talk you through more of our spreading technologies.
Thanks, Patrick. So let me take you to one of our more compact spreaders in our range, our Synthos, actually built up here on an empty Aebi MT as a carrier vehicle. So the Synthos is our compact and robust wet salt spreader, available in the sizes between 0.8 and 1.5 cubic meters, and is specifically developed for the professional winter maintenance application. It is made, as you can see here, of highly durable polyethylene and also can easily compete in terms of robustness and also durability with common spreaders made of metal. It is suitable for mounting on platforms, on tractors, on pickups, narrow track vehicles, and you can also get it as a trailer version. On top, we have here as a conveyor system, a belt system. You might see it with the camera. You can also choose here as an auger system, so you have the choice between belt and auger system as a conveyor. Additionally, you have the option to order it with a pre-wet equipment, so it comes with an all-round integrated brine tank, a level indicator, as well as a brine pump, which has a run-dry protection. With this system, you can run FS30 or even FS50 brine-salt mixtures. The spreading is done via the stainless steel spreading disc, which you can see here. The disc has a 350 millimeter diameter and can be folded up, as well as it can be adjusted infinitely, which has the big advantage that you can choose the optimal distance to ground. With this spreading disc, you can reach a width between 1 and 6 meters. In combination with our EP or ES control systems, also the electric spreading pattern adjustment is available from plant. The system, so the Synthos itself, is driven either by the vehicle hydraulic system or a popular rotor power option, or you can also get it with an auxiliary engine. But there's something new which you probably haven't seen yet. So, considering the importance of sustainability, we further developed our Synthos range. And as we all know, there's an increased focus on sustainable solutions within our society, for us within Aebi Schmidt, and especially also for you, our customers. It is our target to provide you with sustainable and innovative product solutions for winter maintenance application. Therefore, with Aebi Schmidt premium products, you can already today reduce emissions and furthermore reduce the impact of salt on our nature. Thanks to the high quality and the long durability of our machines, you can significantly reduce the need for regular maintenance. So I'm happy to introduce to you our new eSynthos. Let's take a closer look at the machine. The basis is the Synthos range, which I've just presented to you, but now it is also driven via a battery pack, and so it is possible to drive it completely independent from the carrier vehicle. It is of course 100% emission-free, and on top, as a side note, much more quiet compared to common spreaders, for example, with auxiliary engine. The battery pack, which we see here, maybe we take a closer look at it, is a 48-volt system lithium-ion battery. In this case, it is a 4 kilowatt-hour battery, but you have the option to choose between 4 and 8 kilowatt-hours. The battery then drives an electric engine, which powers the hydraulic system of the spreader. So you might now ask, what are the advantages and further features of the system? To our mind, this is the optimal combination of high-tech electrical drive technology combined with really well-known and proven hydraulic system. Why is this so important? I mean, we just talked before about it. In winter, you need a reliable system, and this is what the eSynthos definitely is. Due to the hydraulic drive of the eSynthos, the system, honestly speaking, ensures a very fair maintenance. So without any special training, you can easily maintain the machine, and also repair in case needed is done quick. As said, no special training needed. The electric drive unit, which is built in here, is of course maintenance free. A big advantage for you, our customers, is that with this system, as I mentioned before, it is completely independent from the carrier vehicle. There is no need to drive the spreader for an hydraulic system at the vehicle itself, which offers a huge saving potential when ordering new carrier vehicles. Furthermore, it also now enables you to fairly quickly switch between different carrier vehicles. I think as time often is money, this is quite important. The spreader is driven by its own batteries, and as we see today, there's an increasing demand for electric carrier vehicles, so this spreader does not consume any energy from the electric carrier vehicle. Why is this important? Because it so does not have any impact on the operating hours of the carrier vehicle itself. Last but not least, one of my highlights is the upgradability. And yes, you heard right. I mean, you can not just get the eSynthos new from our plant, you can also upgrade your existing fleet to a 100% emission-free Synthos fleet. I mean, if this isn't exciting, thanks a lot from my side, and back to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Florian. That was quite a bit of news and new technology. So now let's see what we didn't answer yet and what our viewers were asking. The first was, oh, did we didn't do that before? Can you show us the displays in the machines?
In the machines.
Can we do that right live? Sure, we can.
Can you do it, Patrick?
Yeah, we can. We have one of the
Let's go to
displays
the
in the
machines
machine,
then.
so we can take out the ES display.
Open the door for you.
So here we have our ES display panel. So this is our, let's say, top-end display panel with LCD display. So we see all of the spreader functions. It's also touch screen, power on, power off. Other side we have basically the menu buttons. We have hotkeys along the bottom, and then the main functions for adjusting spreading width, different dosages, the on-off, and of course the max button to double the dosage. There are two other displays available, the EP, which is basically a smaller LED LCD screen, and then the EC with an even smaller LCD screen as an entry-level model.
Thank you, Patrick. I propose that we stay with, we do have enough time. So I propose to stay with the plows, a question which comes from Bjarne, obviously. We had the same question yesterday already with the German audience, but he's asking how much lighter is the HB2V compared to a standard front and slide plow combination?
Oh yes, so the new snowplow is lighter, circa 400-500 kilo than the old configuration. Yeah,
That's quite a lot.
yeah, that's almost half ton that you can put on the back with spreader.
Will save a bit of power and diesel, I assume.
Yes, of course.
Another question is, that's actually a funny question, but why not? It's from Gert. He's asking why HB2V. So what's did we say that before? I'm not sure. We didn't.
Yeah, of course, for me it's quite easy, quite easy question. No, but to make a long story short, I would highlight two points. So one is that the truck. So we don't need to have all investments for side snowplow that you needed for, let's say, our traditional combination front and side snowplow. And on side snow or on snowplow side, I would say multi-blade design, which provide the best quality performance, and of course ensure that the safe operation for both snowplows and the truck.
Thank you, Marcin. I suggest that we go to the latest innovation, which is the e-Synthos, of course. One of the question is well, that doesn't depend primarily on the e-Synthos, but is it available with 400-liter tank? I assume yes.
I assume the customer is referring to our pre-wet equipment, and yes, I mean, depending on the size of the spreader, you can get it with a tank size.
Then there's somebody with the same name as I have. Thomas is asking, can I retrofit old Synthos tanks?
Yes, I mean, I said that is my highlight, beside many features of the machine, that you can really take your old Synthos fleet and upgrade it to an electric-driven Synthos.
Arnu is asking, is the electro-hydraulic solution heavier than a regular one?
A good question. I think we had that question yesterday too, from another customer in Germany. Yes, it is lightly heavier, but not really significant. So of course it always depends on the configuration of the spreader. But if we compare it, for example, with an auxiliary engine, then it's really just a small gap. We talk about a few kilos. But generally the whole system, maybe we could say it weighs around 200 kilos, of course depending on how much battery capacity you also have in there. And this is usually a little bit more than a common system. But on the other side, you save, as said, the hydraulic system from the carrier vehicle. So it's not much more weight.
Thank you, Florian. Looking on the watch, time is up. My personal question is, when do we present the e-Stratos? But I'll ask that the next demo days, so not today anymore. Thanks very much for watching. those of you who want to review that presentation, we will make it available online in just a few days. I think Patrick, Marcin, Florian, thanks again. They have presented us quite a few benefits on which it may be worth to go a bit more into detail to have it explained again. So Aebi Schmidt is present in 17 different countries with an own service and sales organization. If you go on our website and type in your own location, you'll sure find a contact near to you. Please profit from that. And yeah, that's it for winter maintenance. We would be very happy if you connect again in 30 minutes. Then it's about the really big highlight in the area of sweeping. We're all very sort of a bit nervous, all of us, including including my colleagues over there. So it would be nice if we see each other again. Those who have to go, we wish you a good rest of the day. Thanks again for your interest. Hope to see you soon again, and goodbye.